Cook. Michael, I understand that Renua Medical has really, created some state-of-the-art technology. Some of the technology has been around a little while. They're I guess, what you would call their main product that they built their company on. Tell us a little bit about it, because I understand it has tremendous benefits.
It does. Our flagship product is called the True Tesla Muscle Stimulator, and it is unlike any other muscle stimulator or electrical stimulator on the market. And I like to say that it's the anti-E-stim unit.
Okay.
Anti-E-stim because the average electrical stimulator is first direct current output, which is DC output, which is the same as a battery puts out. It's low voltage, about 100, 120 volts, and high amperage, 10, 15, 20 milliamps. The problem with that system is that it can in fact burn a patient. It can in fact leave little burn marks if it's turned up too high. That's the standard E-stim. Now, the True Tesla unit is completely opposite. It's AC current, very high voltage, 400 volts, but very low amperage, 4 milliamps. And what that does is it produces a very soft, gentle contraction of the muscle. In the contraction, we increase blood flow 300 to 500%, and in so doing, we increase the oxygen content or flow in the blood 300 to 500%, which actually produces a true healing.
Now, we know that it doesn't cure anything, but obviously there are people that are suffering with certain things, and we've seen that it improves the quality of life for them. What are some of those things that it really has a great benefit for?
Well, any time a practitioner or a patient can increase the circulation into a damaged part, let's say a damaged leg or a damaged arm, bad neck or back, anytime we can increase circulation, we're going to improve the healing. We're going to enhance the healing. We're going to promote the healing. We're going to speed up the healing process. So we're particularly good with things like muscle atrophy, wound care, nerve damage, and pain. Those are the 4 basic categories.
That's excellent. The next piece of equipment, or what I would call Star Wars type technology, and by the way, I have a familiarity with thermal imaging. I work with thermal imaging, and what I was impressed with about thermal imaging is it was able to diagnose breast cancer 5 years prior to what a mammogram would, for example.
Yes.
But I understand that you have a machine that's like basically thermal imaging on steroids. Is that right?
Well, it's actually not thermal imaging. It actually is electroimaging. So
okay.
It's electrophysiology, kind of like an EKG for the heart, only this is for all of the internal organs, not just the heart. So we look at the heart, we look at the intestines, we look at the stomach, we look at the liver, we even look at brain chemistry and output from, say, thyroid and prostate and those kinds of things. So by using this unit, which we kind of term, as you say, kind of a Star Trek-like technology, we can, in 6 minutes, do a complete body analysis, and the indicators thereof are indicators of either current problems, illnesses, or pathologies, or something which may be developing. For example, heart disease. You know, 52% of the time, heart disease patients die before they get a symptom. Only 48% of the time does a symptom actually occur, which gives us a warning sign, and then we can treat them. Same thing with diabetes. Diabetes can actually lay dormant in a person or be developing in a person 5, 10, even 15 years before it's actually diagnosed. However, our unit allows us to look at the tendencies that cause diabetes, that create diabetes, and allow us to then get a handle on it or try to treat it holistically, nutritionally, nutraceutically, before it manifests itself.
So this piece of equipment really could help a healthcare professional evaluate and diagnose a patient in the early stages.
Absolutely, and that's the whole idea between modern healthcare. We talked about it before, the difference between old style healthcare and new style healthcare is the ability to try to predict a problem, try to get it, look at it proactively before it happens, and holistically look at things and then get them under control before they get to be a serious problem.
Now, I understand that you have another piece of equipment, and it was created actually for the chiropractic industry, but can be used in other fields as well, physical therapy and other things like that. Tell us a little bit about that piece of equipment.
Well, you're absolutely right. It was actually created by a physical therapist for physical therapists and chiropractors. It's called the Zone RX, and explained simply, almost all doctors and clinicians that treat the neuromusculoskeletal portion of the body, that is the spine and the bones and the pelvis and all that, know that over a period of time, most people with back problems, and by the way, that's a huge number, 60, 65, 70% of the entire profession, of the entire United States will suffer from some type of back problem in their lifetime. And so this unit allows us to untorque the torqued spine and pelvis. We find that the major cause for almost all musculoskeletal, or what we call spinal disorders, and this can be slipped discs and scoliosis and curvature of the spine and so on, almost all of these disorders come from a torquing or a twisting of the pelvis and the resulting twisting all the way up of the spine. Our Zone RX product is the first product on the market that the patient works against. It doesn't work on the patient, to teach the muscles or re-educate the muscles to untwist or untorque, thereby correcting most spinal disorders.
Wow.
Totally amazing.
Michael, we have about a minute left. Tell us what's in the future. We're going to have you back.
Okay.
Because I can see they're developing new technologies all the time. But what does the future hold for Renua Medical?
Well, Renua Medical hopes to get the word out about our nutraceutical products, about our anti-aging products, about our detoxification products, and our abilities to correct both the neuromusculoskeletal problems and the internal problems as well. Our goal is to work with patients and on the whole premise of anti-aging or reversing the aging. You know, most of us baby boomers would like to stay younger longer. We'd like to be viable and creative into our 70s, 80s, and 90s. And the only way that's going to happen is we can reverse some of our bad ways and get into some of the new ways that allow us to stay younger longer.
Well, Michael, thank you for joining us on the show today. You're a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
And Renua's lucky to have you as their medical director.
Thank you so much.
And we'll look forward to having you on another show.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to have more exciting episodes coming up, more exciting shows with incredible guests. So tune in to Renua Medical.